Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom.
which means peace on Yahweh's holy Sabbath day. My name is Isaac ben Israel, and I am the priest of the United Congregation of Israel. It's a wonderful Sabbath, again, that Yahweh has enjoined unto us and allowed us to have a little sanctuary, a little piece of peace while we are in captivity. We know that Yahweh was very angry with our people and cast away the things that he had set up before because of how we dealt with Yahweh's holy law and the things that he had given us. And someone always had to stand in the breach when it comes to dealing with things and to holding back the wrath of Yahweh. And I pray that we would be those that could help stay off that wrath of Yahweh, for we know that a lot of things are coming toward us, and there are a lot of people that have no idea about those things. And a lot of times we kind of get caught up in self and being self and just believing because, you know, we're living today, that we take it for granted that we're going to be living when all of these things go on. But tomorrow is not promised to any of us. We're going to open up with the oracles of the church, beginning at 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And above all things, have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received a gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Now understand, what we are reading here are the oracles of the church. And it says, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. We need to consider that when we do speak and say things within Holy Convocation, because there is an angel that we invite. We invite that angel to come and stand at the door, to come in and sup with us. Thank you. And us with him, that we may read out of this great legacy that Yahweh has given us and grow thereby. So we need to consider what it is that we may offer up in Holy Convocation. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through 32. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed unto the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for the Mashiach's sake have forgiven you. And understand that evil communication can be put forth, corrupt communication can be put forth in any way. Even when the children, when Yahweh had told the people that they were going to go into captivity, and some other brother come and steal away the heart of Israel by saying, no, ain't nothing bad going to happen to you. Those were corrupt communications, because the people were getting people not to fully follow Yahweh's word. The same thing when Yahshua said what he said to Peter. Peter, in believing in his heart what he thought should happen, he said, ain't nothing going to happen to you, Yahshua. Yahshua said, get thee behind me, Satan. Because he said, you savoreth the things of man and not the things of Elohim. It was fitting that one man should die and save the entire nation of Israel. So when he uttered that, that was evil communication. So we have to consider those things and consider whether or not we may be saying, it says, if meat offends your brother, don't eat meat. Now that don't mean you don't eat meat for the rest of your life. That just means you don't eat meat while the dude is standing there. Well, it's the same thing. If you are speaking on another level and that person is not able to handle that level, that may be corrupt communication, and you have to deal with that. And some things you don't say in front of everybody. Like if somebody asked me a question, I could answer that question, but there are other people in the room that can't handle that answer. So I may give an answer and then talk to that brother a little later, and then I can give him the answer. But everybody in the room were not able to handle that answer. Now, we tend to believe that we can handle everything, but that, it's not so. Even dealing within this word, it's a level process that you grow, and it takes time for all of that growth to kick in. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 1 through 4. And because of that reason, you don't want to try to give a baby a big piece of steak. Baby ain't got no teeth, and you just going to drop that steak right there in front of him. A baby going to choke to death. Now, maybe because, maybe you might seem intelligent, and maybe you might feel really smart by dropping that piece of steak. And maybe, people are impressed by it, but you just choke that baby. And if that person ends up not dealing with the word, you got a loss on your hands, and you're going to have to answer for that. Ephesians chapter 5, verses 1 through 4. Be you therefore followers of Elohim as dear children, and walk in love as the Mashiach also have loved us, and have given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet smelling savor. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as become of saints, neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, excuse me, but rather giving of thanks. And this jesting, which is joking, we do it all the time. And I remember joking before, and hurt a brother's feelings, and it was about a year plus before I even found out that I had hurt that brother that deep. So we have to be a little bit careful when we do those things. Revelation chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches. And indeed, it says, to him that overcomes. And what we have to understand is there are some things that we're going to have to overcome. There are some things that we're going to have to deal with in this walk. Just because you are entering into the truth does not mean that everything is going to be hunky-dory and everything's just going to go all peachy. No, what we are striving is to persevere and be there when all of this is finished going down. And Yahweh, we're going to find out that Yahweh don't care nothing about flesh. Yahweh is about to get ready to kill off a man like it's going out of style. And understand, we have to do what we have to do to separate ourselves from the nations. Right now, we have a tendency, especially when you watch the kids, and you can't really blame them because of the things that go on, but our kids grow up and read this word, but at the same time, they have peer pressure from all those people outside that door. And you have to constantly remind them that when the judgment of Yahweh comes, believe you me, you ain't gonna want the angel to confuse you with them, because they finna get ready to die. And what are you going to do to sanctify yourself or separate yourself from the rest of the nations? Well, our problem is we want to do everything that the rest of the nations do. We want to hang where they hang. We want to wear the clothes that they wear. So how the angels supposed to know the difference between you and them? So we have to consider these things when we do things, and even when we how we carry ourselves when we are out and about. The title of today's sermon is The Remnant. The Remnant. Now, Yahweh is a great and mighty Elohim. He gains his glory in man's impossible. When mortal man sees a feat as unattainable, this is a perfect situation for Yahweh to display his majesty and his might. Yahweh could have had a great nation rise up and destroy Egypt, but instead he used an old man, one with a tainted history, for he had killed a man, speaking of Moshe, to come powerless in the eyes of man, having only a staff, which is a stick, and stand before the most powerful nation that has ever been on the face of the earth. Doing this allowed the glory to be given to his holy name, because there was no physical might in this old man's hand whereby he could have possibly done this on his own. Likewise, Israel has been stripped of her power and laid desolate on the ground of many countries. It shall be a glorious feat when Yahweh cuts off the hand of the wicked, using this so-called forsaken people of the earth. This will not come without consequences, as Yahweh will not choose everyone to fight in his name and bear his glory. Only a remnant shall carry his name into battle. Only a remnant shall survive the purifying of the fire. Let's open up in Judges chapter 7 and verses 1 through 7. Judges chapter 7, verses 1 through 7. Now, many people boast of being Israel, dealing with, of course, the blessings only and not the curses. But consider also that 2/3 of Israel will be cut off and die. We need to be spending our time pleasing Yahweh so that we will be of those that are preserved and survive the test of fire. For fire tries all precious metals. All precious metals are tried by fire. Only wood, hay, and stubble burns. When you put gold and silver to the test, of course it will get that burn mark, but when you go right back with that polishing cloth, it's just as shiny, it's brand new stuff. It is not consumed in the fire. Wood, hay, and stubble will be consumed in the fire. We have to make sure that we do not become that wood, hay, and stubble that will be burned by that fire. Judges chapter 7, verse 1. Then Jerubbaal, who is Gideon, and all the people that were with him rose up early and pitched beside the well of Harod, so that the host of the Midianites were on the north side of them by the hill of Moreh in the valley. And Yahweh said unto Gideon, the people that are with you are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, mine own hands have saved me. So Yahweh has a tendency to do things. He loves the underdog situation. He has a tendency to work in that way. Verse 3. Now therefore go to, proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. And there returned of the people 22,000, and there remained 10,000. So he's cutting them in half. And Yahweh said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many. And now that's half, and now that's still too many. Bring them down unto the water, and I will try them for you there. And it shall be that of whom I say unto you, this shall go with you, the same shall go with you. And of whomsoever I say unto you, this shall not go with you, the same shall not go. So he brought down the people unto the water. And Yahweh said unto Gideon, everyone that laps of the water with his tongue as a dog laps, him shall you set by himself. Likewise, everyone that bows down upon his knees to drink. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hand to the mouth, were 300 men. But all the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink water. And Yahweh said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that lapped will I save you, and deliver the Midianites into your hand, and let all the other people go, every man unto his place. What we have to understand is we are in this situation. We are at the point where we're standing by that water hole, and Yahweh is looking at how we drink that water. And Yahweh is separating who he is going to allow to go to battle for him. So you got to be careful how you do the things that you do. Because you may be standing beside a whole bunch of people, and all them people get to go fight. And understand, as you read the rest of this story, these people were ticked off that they didn't get to go fight. Go ahead.
I actually heard something about that movie that came out, 300. Mm-hmm. Kind of linked with this.
Well, they so-called say it was supposed to be another battle of the Greeks, but yeah, I got a strong suspicion that it comes from there as well, because what the people do in the movies, they always retell our story. You deal with all that, what is that little magician movie? They got about 20 of them that come out. Yeah, the Harry Potter, man, there's so many references, biblical references where they go in and out and do all of these things. Half of all of the movies, the people are retelling our story back to us, and we think it's so absolutely magnificent that we pay millions of dollars to go and watch somebody play out our life, and the stuff is right here in this book, and we don't read it. But half the time what they're doing is retelling our story back to us, and then charge us to do it. You know, now that lets you know that there's something truly wrong with people that will not read their own legacy, but pay to have other people tell it to them. Let's go to Zechariah chapter 13. Zechariah chapter 13, start at verse 6. And it says that one shall say unto him, what are these wounds in your hands? Then he shall answer, those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. People always have this thing where they, especially people that don't really want to follow this word, they try to make excuses for going in and out of the word. But the one thing about this word, you'll find that it is verified because Yahweh speaks what he's going to do before he does it. And then this is how you know that Yahweh deals in those things, because you'll find those very things taking place later on within this book. And Yahweh is going to verify himself once again, for we've been reading all of these things that's going to come about. And I think it's still going to shock us when we see those things go down right before our very eyes. Verse 7, awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, says Yahweh of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn mine hand upon the little ones. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, says Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the 3rd part shall be left therein. And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my Elohim. Now understand how grievous this is going to be. 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the 3rd shall be left. All right, those are the people that even get authorized to go through the fire. You got to understand, you have to get authorized to even go through the fire. You don't get to just jump in the fire and get tried. Now that 2/3 is going to be cut off and die. They're not going through the fire. Go ahead.
And this is going to show you furthermore why the Christianity deals so much folly, because they're praying for water again. They don't pray. They don't believe in this fire. You show them and say that you're going to have to be basically consumed by a fire to be purified, that they're going to laugh at you and say, "What are you talking about?"
Well, that's because the nations are taught, first of all, that they're not going to have to go through any of this. They said that they're going to be raptured up, and they're going to sit in the air. And when you deal with what's written here, the Messiah is coming here to set up a governmental system on earth. So when they said they're going to go in the air, when you read that, it's talking about the 144,000. Now, at first, they were trying to say the 144,000 was this group and this group. And then, of course, their organizations got bigger than 144,000. So then that lie wouldn't hold. But it tells you exactly that those are 12,000 each from the 12,000 of the 12 tribes of Israel. And people want to haphazardly deal with that thing, dealing with Israel. But it's very clear, because he says 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes. So this means even though Yahweh has scattered his people, he knows exactly who's in what tribe. You don't know. Yahweh knows exactly who's from what tribe. Yahweh has preserved his lineage the way he wanted to preserve his lineage. So you may just think your dad and mama didn't work out. They may not was supposed to work out. They were just supposed to make you. Yahweh knows that lineage and what that is all about. Let's go to Luke chapter 17. Luke chapter 17 and verse 26. Now we have to get ready to prepare ourselves spiritually for the things that we're about to see. Verse 26. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. So everybody was going right on about their business, just as everybody is going right about their business now. We see things getting worse and worse and worse, but Yahweh has, the people have gotten so caught up in their own lives that Yahweh has left them there, caught up in their own lives. You find we have new moon that Yahweh has ordained for us to keep. We have holy Sabbaths that Yahweh has ordained for us to keep. We have holy days that Yahweh has ordained us to keep. But you find that even Hebrews deal with this thing in a haphazard manner. They may come to new moon. They may keep a Shabbat, maybe not. They may do this, they may do that. Just as there were Sunday Christians, there's Sabbath day Hebrews too. Do you forget all of this as soon as you leave up out of here? So understand, Yahweh, this is not one of those things we always like to say when there 2/3 is going to get cut off. We always like to say them gonna get cut off. But see, there's some us in that them too. See, this is a great gift that Yahweh is going to give us. We're talking everlasting life and joy. We're going to have to do something to attain that. And that does not fit popular doctrine, because popular doctrine says that all you have to do is have faith. But according to what's written in this book, faith without works is dead. Verse 28. Likewise also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. So this is the time to go and sow those seeds in the earth and talk to people about this word. Yahweh will cause those people, you plant that seed, it's up to Yahweh to bring that rain or that latter rain to cause that seed to grow. And sometimes those things will only deal or grow within people when they find themselves in a whole lot of hell. A lot of people ain't gonna hear until things get bad, because we have a tendency not to want to deal with anything as long as things is going good. We called upon Yahweh the most when our people were slaves and going through civil rights movement. We called upon the Creator constantly. We were much closer to our Elohim, not even knowing his name. We walked better in the statutes until we got nice houses, we got nice jobs, and now we don't even know our neighbors. Before, we knew everybody on the block. Everybody knew one another. The people down the street could whoop the child, and the mama wouldn't try to fight them when they got there. You try to whoop somebody's child now, after the 9-year-old pull a gun out on you, his mama gonna come and pull one out on you too. Go ahead, brother.
Kind of add to what you were saying. It has to be a catastrophe or something that people, it just shocks them so much that they don't know what else to do or think, so they want to who they believe might know the answers. Like in 9/11, they had a report that all of the United States basically ran to every church that they saw and piled them so tight, they was at
Right.
doors until they felt either comfortable with the answer that were given, or just the amount of people that they looked at and talked to and comfort themselves. But after that, nobody goes to church. It's like,
you're right.
Ain't nobody in the church.
That's exactly what happened. They piled in when they thought that destruction was gonna happen, and as soon as that destruction they thought was gone, they went right back to their old ways. They went right back to doing the same things that they were doing before, and that's how Yahweh gonna trick them. He gonna let them go through that thing a couple times so that they get comfortable, And people don't realize that you're being put in the position to make a decision. And Yahweh just sitting there. And he let you go through it 2-3 times. Boom, boom. So now you done got comfortable. Ah, man, that destruction ain't going to come. That's the day it comes. So they'll run up, fill up the church. Everything die down, they back. But what did Yahweh say? Yahweh said, when I have fed Israel to the fullest, that's when they sinned against me. Right. You're absolutely right about that, brother. Verse 31. In that day, he which shall be upon the housetop, and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back. Listen, remember Lot's wife. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. I tell you, in that night there shall be 2 men in one bed. The one shall be taken, and the other shall be left. 2 women shall be grinding together. The one shall be taken, and the other left. 2 men shall be in the field. The one shall be taken, and the other left. And they answered and said unto him, Where, Adonai? And he said unto them, Wheresoever the body is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Now they're telling you that they're going to be raptured together to go off. These people that's being taken are going to get ate. Where the eagles gather is where the fowls eat the dead bodies. So they're telling you they're going to disappear. When they disappear, they dying. Yahweh is coming to set up a governmental system here on the earth. So when they tell you they're going to get raptured off and go somewhere, brother, these people dying. Zechariah 14 and 16 says, And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, Yahweh of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. All of them that are left, letting you know that Yahweh is getting ready to kill off man like it's going out of style. But everybody's still partying. Everybody's still having a good time. So everybody think that they're going to be raptured off. It's saying that these people are the people that are left going to have to go up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles, which are things that we were already commanded to keep anyway. But notice and pay attention to left. Let's go to Revelation 12.
Doesn't that coincide when we talk about those 2 angel sticks, the 2 candlesticks that come down, and people going to create merry and giving gifts and so forth? When it kind of seems like almost close, they giving gifts and having fun and so forth like that. When they out there prophesying and doing all these wonders, but laying on the street dead. Next thing you know, they also giving these other gifts and marrying. Then hell gonna break loose right after.
It could be, you know, when you deal with those 2 anointed ones, it's kind of strange sometimes how Yahweh does what he does. These brothers got power to shut up heaven, that it rain, and do all of those things. But at the same time, you find out that the people overtake them and they kill them. And you're like, wait a minute, the brothers got all that power, but then they gonna die. And the people gonna be merry, having a good time, and then all of a sudden the brothers gonna stand up on their feet. Man, people gonna pee their pants, brother. People gonna pee their pants. I'm talking about they gonna be rejoicing. Oh, look at the dead body. Uh-oh. Brother, yeah, that's gonna be something really ugly to see them brothers stand up on their feet. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says they're gonna actually lay the bodies there, and you know, I visualize it like it'll be broadcasted on TV or something like that. You know, who knows how it's really gonna go? But it's supposed to say it's either that's Enoch and Elijah, or their spirits embodied in 2 other people, the 2 witnesses that you're talking about right now.
Well, you have to get out of that supposing, because at the grand scheme of things, it really don't even matter. Because when 2 dead people stand up on their feet, I don't give a damn who they is. I'm getting the hell away from there. You understand? I'm not going to be, excuse me, brother that came alive that was dead once before. Oh, you Enoch. Oh, you Elijah. I don't care. I'm getting the hell away from them 2. I ain't starting no fight with them. I ain't running off at the mouth with them.